Going from Bedlam to, I think it's a fascinating matchup, but maybe not quite to the same degree. With Coastal Carolina now a 1-point road favorite at Old Dominion. This game carries an over-under 50.5 points. It kicks off at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. So we went from a lot of nationally broadcast games to, well, you got to go finding for it. The reason I think this game's interesting, though, there are a lot of factors to it. Grayson McCall was stretchered off with a scary injury a couple of weeks ago. Tim Beck said Sunday his gut tells him that McCall's career, sadly, is probably over with Coastal. And that doesn't mean that he's not playing football anymore. This is his last year of eligibility, so he has none left. So he can move on to the NFL. It was kind of a surprise that he came back this year. In hindsight, and I don't even mean injury, hindsight probably shouldn't have. Old Dominion has actually been pretty solid this year. I expected exciting things from them preseason. I just thought it was going to be from the offensive side, not the defensive side. They brought in the Fordham staff. That's an up-tempo, high-scoring, air-it-out type of system. But, Kelly, their defense has been really dang good in Norfolk. Mm-hmm. Jason Henderson, know that name. He should be on some sort of All-American list at the end of the season. He's the 4th leading tackler in the country, and I believe has set the career mark for tackles. Let me triple check that. He had almost the season mark, but missed the game due to injury. Almost beat Luke Kuechly is the one that still holds that. The defense overall is number 7 in EPA per rush allowed. So you can't run on them. Absolutely not. The resume, I think, is pretty decent too. Your resume rankings, you'll have them somewhere, but they beat Louisiana early on. They nearly upset Wake Forest. They beat App State, and then they gave James Madison a run for their money just last week. Coastal, they're coming off their best performance of the year, even without McCall. They held Marshall to just 4.0 yards per play and won 34-6. Pretty good. They forced 4 interceptions. That certainly helps in keeping a team just 6 points. Their backup quarterback, Jarrett Guest, played pretty well. 289 and 3, hit a pick. But hey, I'll take that if you're putting up almost 300 yards and finding the end zone 3 times. The offense is a lot more multiple now than it was to start season. I was on here saying fades him back. Their offense has no creativity. There had to have been a change of play caller. Trickett's probably the one calling the plays because they're multiple, they're exciting, they're creative. It's kind of gone back to what they were under Chadwell. At least they're trying. It's not the same system, but they're still trying to get the ball out, spread it around, make it, tons of motion. They're running a lot more option. I like what I see from their offense right now. Guest is probably going to have to carry the load in the offense, though, this game because, again, ODU's defense really stout against the run, but 129th in passing success rate allowed.
Yeah, Brett, this is 2 weeks in a row that my model projects Coastal to win outright as an underdog. Last week, the line was a little bit bigger and still had Coastal as the better team. Sean's got it done last week against Marshall, and now I have Coastal Carolina -7 on the road at Old Dominion. I know this Old Dominion team has exceeded, Vegas's line or performed well against the spread all year. I've got a 70% chance, though, for Coastal to win it outright. No Grayson McCall is still the story. It will be the rest of the year. But the offense is humming still by my numbers without him, improving 5 spots this past week and now ranked number 54. It's not just an offensive team in Conway these days, though, as you mentioned. The defense now ranks a season-best number 64. That said, Old Dominion is having a terrific year in their own right. At number 101 in the power ratings, this is the highest the Monarchs have been power ranked all season. The defense is the stronger of the 2 units, ranking number 77 compared to the offense, which is number 112. With James Madison ineligible for the Sun Belt Championship game, Georgia Southern is the favorite in the East Division. But the winner of this game will remain in the mix with only 2 losses in conference play. Bottom line, I have Coastal -7. It's a 70% chance that the Chants earn their first ever win against Old Dominion. But they're currently 0-2 all time.
Yeah, that matters too. If you're looking at, hey, we haven't beaten this team, there's a little bit more get up for it. And I've been to SB Ballard Stadium. It's beautiful now. It was beautiful before. I have for a game when they upset Virginia Tech. Fun fact: it used to have this nice curve in it, but now it's like a little bit more modern. But it's really nice. Not much of a home field advantage there, to be honest. And it's not really that far away from Conway. So, I think I maybe gave him like a half point for the travel. But yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm taking the opportunity to bet on an unknown in Jarrett Guest here before the market, before the power ratings catch up, because he looked pretty dang good. I think his offense has changed. I think his offense is different. It's a lot better. McCall worth a ton to the point spread. But enough for Coastal to have opened a dog here. And it moved through 0, and if they're -1 or +1, it doesn't matter. Like, hands down. 0 is a dead number. You cannot end on 0. So it doesn't matter if you see a -1 or a +1. just treat it as a pick or whatever. Yeah, but I don't know that he's really worth as much as maybe as we thought, or I'm hoping that at least the ratings in the market are overestimating his worth to the spread. I mean, yes, this kid, he throws the ball downfield, a 14.48 out last game. he's firing it downfield. This isn't dink and dump time. And I'd like to see him continue that against this porous ODU passing defense. This is Coastal on the money line for me.